All right, welcome back. Happy Monday. I hope this week is a lot more calm than last week was. We spent an incredible amount of time, effort, and energy on bomb threats, most of them around Carolina Forest High School. And what generally happens is once you get one, you got copycat people. So it would be a perfect time for parents, and I know I've done the same thing with my kids, to sit down and talk with your kids about, just what are you trying to achieve? Because I can tell you the little bit of joy or gamesmanship that a kid may get, playing video games and calling in one of these things cost the counties a ton of money. But they're spending that money to track you down. And you may believe that you've masked your IP address. Well, these people did too. They thought they had. And yet they were found, two of the three were found in the United States, one in Louisiana and one locally. And the unfortunate part is before we had an opportunity to talk about it and to go through it, there's going to be quite a few kids that are going to pay a very tough price for this. Once you've spent that kind of money and once you've scared that many people, there's going to be a tough price to be paid for it. When I say that, I'm talking about prison time. And that's just part of it. Not only will you have to deal with the court system and a judge that's already frustrated, but you're going to have to deal with school administration. You may not be able to go back to the school that you wanted to graduate from. You may have to go to alternative school, or you may have to be homeschooled. A couple of years from now, you may very well, or next year, you may very well think, maybe I could try college out. Well, that bomb threats don't look particularly great on a college application. And believe you me, it can get pretty competitive. So that would be just enough to ruin your life over, some sort of gamesmanship or playing around. And one of the things that I was telling my kids is that these prison systems, whether it be for adults throughout the state or juveniles with Department of Juvenile Justice, the people that are there are not there for playing games. They're not there for playing around and giggling. They're there for some really bad stuff. So you're going to be an outsider day one. You're not going to be nearly as well thought of as you are at Carolina Forest or whatever high school you are. These guys may very well test you. And they are coming from a background that ain't gaming and ain't giggling about, let's call it a bomb threat. They're there for some real live stuff. So unless you want to become cellmates or have to stay in the same place with them, you probably need to decide, is it worth it? Think through the next step. Because these guys did an awful lot of stuff to try to cover their tracks. It just takes longer and it's more frustrating. But look, they were all caught. And we're not going to go into all of the ways that they do it, but it is difficult, if not impossible, to hide all of your, hide where it's coming from. So it's, parents, take 5-10 minutes and just encourage your kids to think about, is this worth it? And if it's worth it, then, the prison system's for you. That's fine too. But it is going to be a lot more than just, a day or two. It's going to be a lot more than just being locked up. it could have significant ramifications. If you're 16, your working ages are between 18 and 58, 60 years old. So you're looking at messing up about 40 years of potential earned income over 30 minutes of tomfoolery. Think about it so that parents aren't in the same situation that some of the parents are in right now with what went on last week. We ultimately need to get through the end of the school year. One other thing, and then I'll leave it. After 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of these things, what if the police get less alert to this, like crying wolf, and somebody actually gets hurt because of the red flags that you've thrown up and caused them to do all of this for nothing? There is a tendency after these to have copycats, people that look back and say, well, they did it, sounds pretty cool. And that's what happened last week. I hope that that is ended now. But if it ain't, there's plenty of space in the prisons. And a lot of bad things can happen because of this silliness. So please talk with your kids. Kids, if you happen to be watching it, it really is not anywhere close to being worth it.